What is up, my viewers and subscribers? I am Mike Wayne, aka Rebel 180, and this is my review slash thoughts on the recent Simpsons Futurama crossover. Before I get started, I just want to talk about, for a brief moment, about the significance of crossovers. Have you ever noticed that crossovers only really happen when both shows have ran out of ideas? Like, they had the, if anyone who is watching this video has ever watched The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron or Fairly OddParents, you might have seen the, Jimmy Timmy Power Hour trilogy, which is a trilogy of crossovers that featured Jimmy Neutron from the Boy Genius series and Timmy Turner from the Fairly OddParents series. And they had three parts, and they were pretty good, but the first part came at a time where both shows weren't really doing so hot. And I think like 2 years after that, Jimmy Neutron got canceled. And years after that, you know, Fairly OddParents took a nasty hit because they don't even understand what continuity means anymore. They had an episode that featured Denzel Crocker when he was a kid, and he was a complete jerk, which is that's a shock to me because I thought that he was supposed to be Cosmo and Wanda's best god kid, and they even showed an episode where he was in their Hall of Fame. So I don't get what that's about. And they had an episode where Poof could talk, and now he doesn't, and that's weird. And the Ninja Turtles show kind of wasn't all that good to begin with, so they had the bright idea to have a crossover with the Lost in Space Power Rangers, which really makes no sense because when you think about it, they could have gone with Ninja Storm or even Samurai. So that really made no sense to begin with. And with these recent crossovers they've been having with The Simpsons, The Simpsons is now it's not as relevant as it used to be. It comes off as a show trying to, just trying to stay alive, really. And with the recent crossovers, you got you got the Family Guy crossover they had, which was pretty much on the Family Guy show. It wasn't really a Simpsons type of thing, but they were on there. And you got the crossover with their former selves, and now this crossover. And this crossover starts with this crossover pretty much starts with the couch gag, being twisted as sort of a Futurama intro. It's being spun. They're spinning it off as a Futurama episode. So, like, they have the typical Futurama gag at the beginning where, like, it says, a show running out of ideas is teaming up with a show out of episodes, which is referring to Futurama. Once again, Futurama got canceled. And now they're just now doing this crossover. It's like, and that's the funny part. This, both shows are owned by Matt Groening, so I don't know why he waited till the show was finally gone to have them meet The Simpsons. It really, it doesn't make sense. But it was a good crossover, you know, and the couch gag was pretty much, the couch gag had Gluttony Bot posing as their couch, and it was massaging Homer, oiling him up, feeding him grapes and all this, and Homer seemed cool with it, you know, and it, their the episode itself starts off with um, the students of Springfield putting their items into a they're putting their items into a time capsule, and Nelson puts a picture of his father robbing a quickie mart or whatever. He's like, he's still at large in my heart, and it has Bart putting a sandwich with his snot in it, and Marge's her sandwich senses apparently are tingling, and it also has Nelson putting no, wait, not Nelson. I already said Nelson. Millhouse putting his Lucky Rabbit's foot in there. He says he doesn't need luck anymore. He can have good luck without it, and then his pants fall down. His nose gets smashed by the time capsule, all this. And, it has, funny little references, like, later on it talks about, the Butterfinger thing. I'll get to that in a minute. And, you know, uh, the real fun begins when Bender falls out of the sky during a storm. And what's funny is this storm happens while Lisa is doing a jazz concert during the time capsule ceremony. And, uh, you know, um, Mayor Quimby's like, even God hates jazz. That's funny. And they have it to where they're all watching TV, watching the news, and all of a sudden you see a shadow of Bender falling outside their window, and they pass it off as space debris or whatever, and Bart goes, do you remember a time when this country didn't suck? Because I don't. Yeah, and they're, asleep, and then they hear a noise, and Homer is like, he's getting dumber every episode. You know, Marge is like, what is that? Oh, don't worry, it's probably Homer coming home from Moe's. And it's like, dude, you're in the bed. Why are you saying that you are coming home when you're in the bed? So he has to go down there and check, and he's afraid to go into the basement, so he tries to send the dog, and the dog bites him, and then he tries to send Bart, and so Bart bites him. And finally, they meet Bender, and at first he doesn't remember why he's there. And so they go bowling with Bender. Homer drinks with Bender, all this stuff, and finally they get a message from the Planet Express crew who he doesn't get a message right away. Dr. Fink shows up and, reboots him, and then he remembers his mission, and his mission is to kill Homer Simpson, because apparently Homer's DNA was found in rabbit-like creatures that are destroying New York. And again, why does it matter if New York is getting destroyed? It's not like we're gonna see it anymore after this episode. Uh, so Bender tries to kill Homer, and he brings out all this, these dangerous weapons, saw, gun, fire. You know, he's like, I remember my mission. It's to kill Homer Simpson. And Homer's like, my ears are burning. No, but they will be. And so, out of all this, Homer notices the boxing gloves. He's like, ah, a boxing glove. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And so, they, Bender tries to kill Homer, and then he remembers all the good times they had for a short time anyways, and so Bender, he can't do it, and then he gets a message from Planet Express, and Leela comes through the portal, and, she comes through a portal that is conveniently located inside of Bender, and she tries to kill Homer, and he, Bender grabs the tip of the gun, bends it around. Somehow it still shoots. It hits Bender in the head. All this, and home. They all try to figure out why. Why they would want to kill Homer, and they pretty much talk about these monsters destroying New York, and they try to figure out ways to fix it without killing Homer, and they discover that the creatures were created because of toxic waste that Mr. Burns had underground, and this toxic waste fused Bart's DNA. It fused Bart's DNA with a rabbit's foot, and so it created that, and the things start to morph into mutant Barts or whatever, and they try to figure out how to stop these things, and they go to the time capsule. They try to destroy it. Willie's like, you can't do that. I've written my name on it, and it says Angry Janitor. So they go to the future accidentally and leave Bender and Maggie alone. And, Marge is like, this isn't the same without Maggie. And, Professor Farnsworth is like, oh, motherly love. I wonder why we ever outlawed it. It's like, you outlawed motherly love in the future? Really? When it was kind of funny. And so they figured out a way to get rid of the creatures. And so their plan was, their plan was to, oh wait, never mind, I'll get to that in just a moment. Homer's ripping these things' heads off, and he keeps saying, why you little, and he gets to the real Bart, the original, and he's like, Homer, it's me. When's your birthday? February 23rd. He's like, ha, there is no 23rd in February. So Homer gets dumber every episode. So they try to figure out, and then they finally figure out, we'll just send him off to another planet, right? And so they try to get him into this cube thing. And, they try to get him into this cube thing, and Lisa says, over there, Butterfinger bars. Do you really have to reference a like 15-year-old commercial it's like really, it's over 15 years or whatever. I don't know. But do you really have to reference an old commercial? But it's a really good episode, and so they send it off to space, and Bender in the end decide decides instead of going back in time, he's instead of going forward in time, he's going to wait out. Uh, he's going to wait 1,000 years, and yeah, he's going to wait 1,000 years for the future. And so he goes into sleep mode, and Homer, as a last gesture, pours beer into his hand. He's like, "Thanks, buddy." And you know what's what's so good about this episode is there's so many references to things. Like they had an FXX satellite, which for some reason has been, which for some reason still has a Simpsons marathon going on. I don't know what that's about. Maybe that's just a Simpsons only channel now. I don't know. But yeah, an FXX satellite. Uh, and the very end shows another gag with Homer Simpson to the lyrics. I can't remember every single word, but the overall ending is Lur from Omicron Persei 8 meeting Kang and Kronos. So, it was a pretty good ending. So overall, I would rate this 4.5 stars, maybe 5. But yeah, this was a really good episode. But once again, it's a little too late for this whole crossover thing, because like shows always do this. They always wait until it's too late. It's ridiculous. So that's my overall thoughts about this. Anyone who's watching this, please give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear it. I you know, I encourage feedback on this channel, and I give feedback. So, yeah. So, anyways, I might do a Raw review tomorrow. I might not. I don't know. I've been finding it kind of hard to do reviews of any kind up until now. And so, I might do a Raw review tomorrow. And next Sunday, I'm going to be doing a retro review of the very first Royal Rumble. So, stay tuned for that. But for now, I am Mike Wayne, aka Rebel 180. So long for now.